What's up, guys? Chase Oliver 68 here, bringing you another video to my channel, and this is going to be my Week 5 predictions. Now, before I start it, I just want to say a couple things. You know, as a football fan, I love it when people are excited for their teams. Don't get me wrong. I love it when people are excited for their teams. But the one thing is this. Sometimes, I just kind of feel like some fans get too excited about their teams. That some fans, like Cardinals and Viking fans that I know, are really believing their team could make it to the Super Bowl. Now, let me say this. I'm happy to see some teams, succeed. It's cool to have those little stories in football. Sports sometimes bring out the best stories. People just don't understand that. And really, to be honest, when I look at Atlanta, Houston, and San Francisco, and other teams that, are doing good, it's like people think that, San Francisco's like 3-1. Why do you think they're still the best football team in this world? Because I think San Francisco is the best football team right now on the planet Earth. They are the best American football team. Fucking soccer fans will probably be like, oh, they're not the best football. Shut up. Talk about American football. I think the 49ers are the best. Yes, they messed up against Minnesota. Every game can be a trap game. We don't know what is going to happen. But when I look at the San Francisco 49ers, I look at their team, and I use this reference a lot, as an onion. I see it as an onion. That's their team. That's the team. You got Alex Smith, got some Vernon Davis in there. You get what I'm saying. There's an onion right there. But then when you peel off that onion a little bit, you see the coaching staff. And then you peel it off more. You see the general manager. You see the owner. You see the people who are behind these desks. You see the people that are planning these game plans for Alex Smith and for Vernon Davis, Patrick Willis, DeVaro Bowman, Carlos Rogers. You get the idea. You see all of this forming. And then you realize, damn, they have some fucking smart motherfuckers back there. They know what they're doing. When I look at Atlanta, I see the same thing. You peel it. You peel the onion. You see the football team. You see they're doing good. But you got to peel that onion more. You see Mike Nolan. He's a defensive coordinator. No shit. No wonder why their defense is very good at the blitzing. Mike Nolan's a genius when it comes to defense. And then you peel it more. You see their general manager. This dude worked under Bill Belichick for motherfucking sakes. He should be a motherfucking genius. And then you keep peeling it. You see the owners. You see that this team is pretty damn good. Same with the Texans. You peel the onion and you see more to it. When you peel the onions of the Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings, what do you see? Peeling the owner of the Minnesota Vikings. I see the owner and I see failure. I've seen what he's done in the past. He knows that he can't build a winning football team. I peel the owner of the Arizona Cardinals. Really? To be honest, he's a loser too. One Super Bowl. Only one Super Bowl appearance. One. See, in football, it's more than just the players playing on this field. It's more than just what you see on TV. You got to peel that onion a little bit more, and you got to see who are the owners, who are the general managers, who are the assistant general managers, who's your scouting, who's your conditioning coach, who's your strength coach, who's your offensive line coach. Gotta peel that onion. And until some football fans realize that, most of you will kind of be blind, but it helps to do a little bit more research on who your general manager is, because that could affect you in the long run. It helps to do a little bit more research on, who your coaches are. Because really, to be honest, when you kind of just do that a little bit, it helps you be more reassuring about your season and not be disappointed when you were saying, oh, we were doing so good in the season and then we just sucked. This player sucked. Maybe instead of blaming players, fans, yes, the players are out there on the field, but maybe it's your general manager's fault for trusting that player too much and putting too much stock into that player. Think about that before some of you fans keep writing Super Bowl, because, the Packers, Steelers, great organizations. You peel that onion, you see their history, and you see the GMs and the owners they've had in the past, and, their coaches, what they've done in the past. You kind of see that, it doesn't matter what your record is at the end of the season. You see, that's the beauty of the NFL. You can lose football games and still be successful. Nick Saban said it best himself. The hardest part about college football is there's no room for one error. And college football, and all you college football fans can agree with me on this, is that when you fuck up once, you are pretty much done. You probably won't get a BCS championship bid. You'll get a major bowl bid, but you won't get a BCS championship bid. And that's going to hurt you in the long run. It's going to hurt you for your whole season because that affects your players. Like whether they want to play good for the rest of the season or should they give up because they know they won't be holding the BCS trophy. With when it comes down to the football, a team can be 9-7 and win the Super Bowl. Look at the Giants. I believe the Packers, when they won the Super Bowl, they were like 10-6. That's a good record, but really, to be honest, there was teams like the Falcons who were 13-3 that year. I believe the Falcons were 13-3, or they were 14-2. I can't remember, but they had a good ass record. There's teams out there. The Jets, they were 9-7 and almost made it to the Super Bowl if they would have just beat the Indianapolis Colts in the AFC Championship. And then again with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they were legit. But you get my point. Don't buy in to sometimes what you see of your team and the record and the number of the team. Buy in to who is running the team, who is the owner of that team, who is the coach of that team, and what that team stands for. That is when you will realize sometimes us fans, we know what we're talking about. Now, these predictions are kind of going to be a little bit shorter than normal because I kind of went into that. But I felt like some football fans really need to hear that it's not always about, what the players are doing on the field. So let's get started. The Arizona Cardinals facing the St. Louis Rams. This game is going to be a tough game to call. Rams have a surprising secondary, and that could affect the Cardinals because the Cardinals really haven't found a run game. But then again, the Rams offense really haven't found anything but Danny Amendola. I got the Cardinals winning this football game. In all honesty, I think the Cardinals are overall a better team. Their defense is very, very good. I just don't really see the Rams picking up anything offensively. Maybe this will be a big game for Steven Jackson if he's healthy. The Philadelphia Eagles take on the Pittsburgh Steelers at Pittsburgh. So this is a little Pennsylvania rivalry here. This is going to be an interesting, and especially a lot of Pittsburgh and Philly fans are going to be excited to cheer and boo each other since the hockey lockout, Flyers and Penguins. You understand, but this is going to be an interesting game. Steelers right now, their defense is kind of, trying to fix their patches. James Harrison's out. Troy Polamalu's been, hurting. They're just trying to fix their patches. Luckily, they're getting running back Rashard Mendenhall back, so that should pick up the running game. Eagles defense, though, they looked better on the run last week. Last week, they shut down Ahmad Bradshaw and Andre Brown. And pretty much their secondary did keep up. They did keep up with Eli Manning's receiving core, which kind of surprised me after choking to Kevin Kolb's receiving core. But other than that, their adjustments were good, and also their division rivals, so I kind of put that together. Eagles and Steelers, it's going to be an interesting game. Michael Vick needs to keep the ball safe like he did against the New York Giants to win this football game. But really, to be honest, I feel that Pittsburgh's is a more fresh team coming off the bye week, and I'm leaning towards the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Green Bay Packers won at Lambeau against the New Orleans Saints in a very good game, and now they're taking on Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. I'm excited for this matchup, mainly because I want to see how Andrew Luck compares to an Aaron Rodgers. I feel Andrew Luck may get pressured a little bit more from Clay Matthews rushing the edge. Not to mention, I feel that he may throw up some picks to Charles Tillman or Charles Woodson, and is his name Charles Tillman? No, that's the Bears wide receiver quarterback. I forgot his name. I know it starts with a T. Tremont Williams? There we go. Tremont Williams. There we go. Maybe he'll throw up some picks to Tremont Williams. But really, to be honest, this is nothing for the pack attack. That Colts defense still sucks. I really don't think a 3-4 style really fits them. But it's what they want to run. But I got the Packers winning this game. The 0-4 Browns take on the New York Giants. This is going to be a trap game for the Giants, probably. It could be a trap game. I see some fronts that Cleveland runs that looks like it could give the Giants a little bit of problems. Trent Richardson is very good, especially running against big ends, and the average linebacking core that New York has could, hurt them in the long run. Secondary for New York looked very weak, and of course, they're injured in that secondary. But then again, when you have Brandon Weeden throwing the football, I don't think you have to worry that much. But this could be a trap game for the New York Giants. I'm not saying, it's going to be easy pickings for the New York Giants. People need to realize that Cleveland Browns have been in close games. It's just been silly little mental mistakes that have cost him these football games. And really, to be honest, I got the New York Giants winning this game, but watch out. The Atlanta Falcons travel to Washington to take on RG3. RG3, he's going to be facing a defense that is going to be blitzing him like crazy. The thing about RG3 that most fans don't realize is that RG3 has faced defenses that always blitzed him. He's faced TCU, Oklahoma, and Texas, who blitzed RG3 a lot. And those were games that RG3 did really good in. But the thing is those guys do not have secondary like the Atlanta Falcons have. The Atlanta Falcons have one of the better secondaries in the National Football League. They are surprisingly good. I mean, besides the 3 picks from Peyton Manning that people like to talk about, the Falcons secondary is pretty good. RG3 is going to have a rough day. But do I think that he could lead a win over the Atlanta Falcons? Not if Matty Ice has anything to say about it. Matty Ice looked like a clutch quarterback. People are seeing Matty Ice evolve to maybe becoming one of those guys that are compared to Rodgers, Eli, Peyton, Brady, Drew Brees. Maybe he will even pass up one of those guys this year with the performance he is putting up. Julio Jones and Roddy White looking good, and the ageless Tony Gonzalez is looking fine as ever. To be honest, the Atlanta Falcons overall are a better football team. Redskins defense is crippled. Falcons have a, 10% chance at losing this game, in my personal opinion, but they're going to win this game regardless. The Miami Dolphins take on the Cincinnati Bengals, and this is where the Bengals shine the most. The Bengals can't beat elite teams, but they can beat, the pretty semi-decent, okay teams. To be honest, I was really surprised to see what Ryan Tannehill did with the football, especially to Brian Hartline out of all people. And by the way, guys, he's not going to post up 31 fantasy points every week, so don't fucking pick him up. Like, seriously. People ride off one fantasy game way too much sometimes. But other than that, the Miami Dolphins defense has been doing pretty damn good. I am liking what the Miami defense is doing. I feel that the only way Miami really would have a chance against Cincinnati is Reggie Bush is 100%, but it seems like Reggie Bush is at like 70% right now. The Bengals, though, their defense is looking, average. I know a lot of people are going to be like, how dare you call the Cincinnati Bengals defense average? I mean, seriously, they've been looking average. I mean, do you guys really just look at numbers and really say, oh, man, I look at the numbers and the stats and it shows that the Bengals are, you know what? Let me tell you something, being a Charger fan. We had the #1 offense and the #1 defense and did not make the fucking playoffs. I don't want to hear everyone say. And the funny thing is, the motherfucking Giants last year were the 29th best defense? Don't give me that defensive number shit. I don't care about numbers sometimes. I care about what I see. But anyways, Bengals defense looking average. Offense looking pretty damn good. Especially with Hawkins actually doing shit. To be honest, I like the Bengals in this matchup. I think the Bengals are overall the better team. The Baltimore Ravens take on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Baltimore Ravens actually have maybe a trap game in this one because they're at Kansas City. Arrowhead is a tough place to play. Jamal Charles, he needs to keep that football safe. Kansas City would have been closer in that San Diego game, but the thing is they are giving the ball up too many times. And really, turnovers will kill them. The Chiefs' defense, though, they've just been looking okay. They haven't been looking anything spectacular, which kind of surprised me because I thought they would be one of the better defenses in the league. But Baltimore Ravens, same thing. Their defense hasn't been looking anything spectacular. I mean, people just, kind of overrate the Ravens' defense because it's like, oh, it's a Ravens defense. Ray Lewis, T. Suggs, Ed Reed, Hody Naga. You know what I'm saying. But pretty much, you get what I'm saying. They always try to overrate the Baltimore's defense, but really, to be honest, they didn't look average. I mean, Cleveland scored 16 points on them. How is that possible? But the Ravens and the Chiefs, this is going to be an interesting game for sure. And I'm actually going with the upset here. I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning this game, surprisingly enough. I like those upsets. The Seattle Seahawks taking on the Carolina Panthers. Russell Wilson, he has a great story, but has not been producing on the field. To be honest, I don't think Russell Wilson is the answer at quarterback. Start Flynn or I fucking riot. I love Matt Flynn. He's the only LSU quarterback I will ever love in my life, but I love Matt Flynn. Anyways, besides that shit, Seattle's defense looking pretty damn good. I'm really liking what they have on the front four. That front four, maybe that's 2 of their other linebackers too. They've been looking pretty solid. Offensively, they just really can't get anything going. But the Carolina Panthers, you know, they're the hot and cold team of the NFL. Literally, they are so hot and cold. I was like, oh, Carolina against the Atlanta Falcons. I don't really think their offense is going to do much. And then fucking Carolina's offense almost won them the damn football game. And I'm like, wow, I feel like an idiot for saying that. And then, like, when I was talking about the Giants game, I was like, oh, Carolina, they're going to throw the football all over the Giants. And Carolina fucking... See, I don't know what to say about the Panthers. You know what? To be honest, I'm just going to say this. You get what you get when you see the Carolina Panthers. They can either be good or they can either be bad. To be honest, I don't know what to say about the Panthers offense. I can't say that their defense sucks because really, to be honest, these guys just look like little kids out there trying to play. But to be honest... I honestly cannot describe what Panthers offense you're going to get. I can describe that the Seattle offense is not going to do that good. So this seems like going to be a sloppy game on our hands. But I got the Carolina Panthers winning. Maybe the offense will show up. Ready for a great defensive battle? Break! Jaguars and Bears. Yeah, guys. Even though the Jaguars suck, they do have a good defense. Shows how having a great defense in the NFL probably does not matter that much. Statistically wise. But, yeah, they do have a great defense. They have a great defense, and the Bears have a really good defense. The problem is, Jay Cutler is a quarterback, and Blaine Gabbert's a quarterback, and they're trying to throw the footballs, and it's going to be a sloppy game. Blaine Gabbert, he has improved from last year, I would say that. Not as big as I thought it would be, but he's improved. Not as big on Christian Ponder. Like, Christian Ponder is on another level of improvement. But, to be honest here, I feel that Chicago has the edge when it comes on offense. Really, to be honest, defense, there's really no edge. Both teams are pretty solid when it comes to defense. But offense, I think Chicago has a little bit of edge with Matt Forte and Michael Bush. Then again, MJD is, like, better than both of them. He's like both of them combined, pretty much. To be honest here, I honestly don't know who I would give the edge to offense to. And I know Jay Cutler looked good against the Cowboys, but he really didn't. I mean, he threw for what, like 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. He didn't look great. To be honest, though, this is going to be a tough game to call, but I'll give it to the Bears. I was going to go for the upset, but I was just kind of like, fuck it. There's no way. Watch me be wrong on that one. You gotta love CBS when it comes to Broncos versus Patriots. Oh boy, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady on our TV sets. Oh. The first Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady of the 2012 season. It's back. Brady versus Manning. Brady versus Manning. Why isn't this a Sunday night game? But whatever. Brady versus Manning. Broncos versus Patriots. This is going to be a doozy. Both defenses have looked subpar to me. Nothing really too special here. To be honest here, this is going to be an interesting game. I really think that the Broncos will edge this one out. As it pains me to say that, but I really do feel they'll edge this one out. I feel this might be a hard day for Tom Brady. And their defenses, like I said, both have been subpar. The Buffalo Bills get the unfortunate travel to Candlestick. To be honest, the 49ers play great at home. You also got to look at home field advantage sometimes with certain teams. I know the Broncos are facing the Patriots at home, and I know many people are kind of wondering why I'm giving the edge to the Broncos here. Look, if the Cardinals can surprise the Patriots at home with their defense, I feel that Peyton Manning, with his history at Foxborough, he knows what goes down there. And with his new receiver core, which is, I think, one of his biggest and strongest receivers that he's ever had in his life with Demaryius Thomas and Eric Decker, he will do good against the Patriots. But the Bills and the 49ers, the Bills are going to be in for a long day if Ryan Fitzpatrick does not keep his turnovers down. If he does not keep his turnovers down, it's going to be a long day. The Bills' defense, though, I think they can do enough to keep the 49ers in check. But the 49ers defense, they are the best defense. They are the most nastiest defense in the NFL. The only thing that could make them nastier is J.J. Watt. But besides that, they are the most nastiest defense in the NFL. I believe that 100%. And this is why I'm going with the 49ers. The Tennessee Titans taking on the surprising 3-1 Vikings. Vikings are going to have some matchup problems here. Matt Hasselbeck is going to be the quarterback. And with the way the Vikings run their cover 2 system, that they're going to have some problems with the West Coast offense. West Coast and cover 2, work perfectly together. Mainly because if you guys don't understand this, when you're running cover 2, pretty much you're going deep. You're leaving lanes open. With West Coast offenses, you like to run shorts, quick, to-the-point routes, and that could bring some advantage to the Tennessee on the offensive side of the ball. Not to mention, Kenny Britt and Nate Washington are very good receivers getting yards after the catch. Yak points. So really, to be honest, this is going to be an interesting game. Both defenses, to me, the Vikings defense has been looking very good. Titans defense has been looking kind of subpar, but nothing really too special. But Colin McCarthy's coming back, which I think may bring an edge to the Tennessee Titans for their defense. Maybe he'll bring a little nasty back. It really comes down to the play of both quarterbacks here. Christian Ponder needs to bounce back from an okay performance against the Detroit Lions, and Matt Hasselbeck needs to show that, hey, maybe I should have started this season. I mean, he did lead your team 9-7, right? So the Titans, really, to be honest, I'm going with them with the upset pick. I just feel that maybe the West Coast style of offense may give the Vikings a little bit of a trouble, but the Vikings could win this football game. The Chargers taking on the 0-4 Saints. Chargers defense looking pretty solid this year. I'm actually surprised that our defense is actually looking pretty solid. The only crappy part about our defense is our secondary because Jammer's old and Atari Big B is like whatever, and fucking Antoine Cason is not even paying attention to the football half the time. But Eric Weddle, fuck the world. But other than that, they've been looking pretty solid. Offensively, it's not the Chargers most people are used to seeing. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people are used to seeing the Chargers throwing deep balls all the fucking time and having, you know, fucking the receivers catching and then touchdown. And, you know, offensively, the Chargers have been kind of slow. Ryan Matthews is hoping to shape into form to be a key starter for this game. And on the other side of the ball with the New Orleans Saints, it's kind of interesting how you look at it. You know, Drew Brees versus Phillip Rivers. Drew Brees is a former Charger that could have won us a goddamn Super Bowl. You know what? Shut up. Hear that all the time. Shut up. And Darren Sproles returns to San Diego, which is cool. Well, returns facing his old team. But you get what I'm saying. You know, you get it. They're at the Superdome, so this gives the Saints a little bit of an advantage when it comes to home field. My problem is with the Saints is that their defense has been looking dysfunctional. This defense is very dysfunctional. They don't game tackle well anymore. They really, ever since the bounty system has gone down, they really don't look like the New Orleans Saints defense. They just kind of look like whatever. And to be honest, maybe it'll give San Diego an edge. Maybe this will be one of Rivers' better days. But the Saints still have Drew Brees, and trust me, guys, when I say this, I love Drew Brees. I love him so much. Why did he have to fucking go? I'm just kidding there, but should be an interesting game. But I'm going with the San Diego Chargers here. Really, to be honest, the Saints, they just look like a bad football team at this point. You know, I always say don't count out teams that could be contenders, but without their owner for 8 games, without their head coach for the season, without their, I think, vice president for, like, what's it called, 6 games. Like I said with the Onion earlier, this is why I gave that talk. It could cause some problems. So I am going with the San Diego Chargers for this game, and it will be a close battle between both quarterbacks. The running games for this game, I don't know. The Texans versus the Jets. Sorry for all you Jets fans who not only lost Terrell Revis for the season, but also lost your best wide receiver in Antonio Holmes for the season. This is a huge loss for the New York Jets. Jets are pretty much, you know, out of sync. Really, to be honest, they are hurting the Jets, and this sucks for them. Is it Tebow time? We don't know yet. We will see after this game, though, after J.J. Watt and Matt Schaub and company come down to take on Mark Sanchez and the New York Jets. I mean, Texans are a really good football team. If you guys want to know who I think are my top 5, I got the Niners, Falcons, Texans, Pats, and Packers. Those are my top 5 football teams. I know some teams are with winning and losing records. I believe the Packers are 2-2 and the Pats are 2-2. But still, you get my point. The Texans really, really are a good football team. I think, like I said, they're the 3rd best football team for me. To be honest, it's going to be interesting to see this football game. But really, they're Colin Kaepernick and Mario Manningham, Kendall Hunter, and Frank Gore could have a good day against these guys. I'm pretty sure Arian Foster and Ben Tate, who could be a starter for other teams, will have a good game. and I'm going with the Houston Texans to win this football game. I know this video was kind of longer than usual, but I want to get that out there to some fans. I also want to discuss that because some fans kind of, you know, never really think about that far in the process and kind of never really go into depth about that when it comes near playoff time, because near playoff time, a lot of fans kind of just look at the team with the better record and never really look back into history about the certain coach or a certain VP or owners or players in that certain manner, and they kind of just really dropped the ball there. But this should be an interesting week, and I hope you guys really liked that talk that I did earlier. And yeah, this is Chase Oliver 68 here, and I'll see you all later. Peace!